Welcome back. Today's episode, we discuss roundhouse kicks as promised, and we're also going to discuss how your footwear will determine how you're going to throw your roundhouse kick. So let's start with the footwear I have on right now. So cross trainers. Cross trainers basically have an additional flaring out on each side to stabilize you when you go side to side. Running shoes won't have that because you're going in a straight line and they want to cut down on how much weight is in the shoe. The point with these, if you're not extremely light on your feet, this part of your foot is going to be stuck to the ground depending on what floor you're on. So most floors will be either, this is a light foam, you'll have a rubber or a rug even in a couple of places. So your foot is going to stick to the ground. It's going to cause a tremendous amount of torque in the knee. So if you were to just step across and then decide you want to pivot and you're not that light on your feet, all that torque is in this knee. So if you're throwing a roundhouse with a cross trainer, I highly recommend you step across, stretch the hips out, chop through with the shin, and then forget about it. Don't even pivot with that foot. It will look like this. Just step, chop through. Because I'm stepping so far outside the bag, my whole body weight is already past my target. All I need to do is chop through with the shin. And trust me, it's going to be a very hard, devastating roundhouse kick. You're not going to have a lot of style on it. It's not going to look fantastic. You're just going to step deep, throw the kick, and then go right back into your stance. If you're extremely light on your feet, you'll be able to pivot, no problem. But if you got your cross trainers on, it's something to consider. Now, Mr. Rogers style, I'm going to slip into my Taekwondo shoes right here. Way back when. Slip them on nice and gentle. Oh yeah, those feel good. These are completely smooth on the bottom. I think they started out with a little bit of thread, but not much, and they're made to pivot. And when you can pivot like this, you can just basically be like a ballerina out there. Pivot, do pirouettes, and snap out a lot more. So when I have this shoe on, I'm going to allow myself to pivot and get a little more torque that way, so I don't have to step as deep if I don't want to. I still will. But I'm going to step, snap, and if you saw, my foot just completely rotated around. Arms reach away. Not only do they allow you to snap and pivot, they sound awesome on the bag, and it sounds like I'm hitting really hard. And I'll show you on the left leg roundhouse. So step, right back, step, right back. That little pivot just allows me to snap it out, get a little more whip. It's like cracking a whip. Snap it out there. These are great fun. I would certainly recommend having a pair in your arsenal. After a long workout and the floor starts getting sweaty though, you can easily step in too close and slip, which happens a lot. I mean, it's not a big deal. This floor gets wet, you're gonna slip with these. And they're not great for running around. So if you're doing cross training, you gotta keep the weight on the balls on your feet. But a must have. Now, I'm gonna show you the next generation. Actually, the Al Bundy shoes. Here's the first one to innovate something like this. So this is a Vibram, and this is the Vibram Sprint. These are the type of shoes that people are going to think you're an absolute madman, but they are fun. I mean, you slip these on. After years of not wearing shoes, my toes, everybody's toes, atrophy. You don't use your pinky toe, so the muscles never develop. So the idea behind these are you're going to constantly use the toes and all the muscles right in here. You're going to be able to push off more. You're going to be able to get more torque. You're going to be able to explode more, and you're going to be able to use those feet to do a lot of crazy and fun things at home. So you slip them on. Trust me, it took me quite a number of tries to even be able to put my toes in each individual toe slot there because it's not easy. I think they were inspired by the Japanese used to wear a sock like this, 5-finger sock. Just kind of crawl your feet in. That's the best way to get them in. Adjust the back. These are the type of shoes where you need to try them on because they're just not gonna be a standard size. If your toes are a little bit longer, you might want to try out a different style. Excellent. They feel like my foot, but my foot with a whole lot more grip. I'm also able to just think about putting the weight on the ball of my foot and just stay on those toes the whole time and use my toes. That's it, to push up and down. So anytime I'm doing a squat or I just want to move around, now I'm on my toes much easier than a cross trainer or a Taekwondo shoe. As far as roundhouse kicks, now I have the best of both worlds. I could step and pivot a